Hello there, citizens of the world. Welcome to the pitches video for King and Queen of the Ring 2024. I'm Ross Tweddell, joined by Andrew Hodkinson and Adam Pacitti, and we're all here to predict the future, aren't we, gentlemen?
Yes, we sure are, Ross. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. You excited?
It's going to be a solid show. Unspectacular, but solid.
Yeah.
I would predict.
Typical B-show pay-per-view now, isn't it? On paper, looks like we're going to get some decent matches.
5 of them, is there?
Yeah, 5
so
at the
far.
moment, yeah. And maybe a little bit of Uncle Howdy as well.
But remember, we're not actually here to predict the future. We're just here to say what we want, because the golden rule is on this video, it's not what we think's going to happen, it's what we want to happen. We'll go around the table in a Nike swoosh formation, or as the Americans like to say, Nike swoosh formation, and then we'll do 3 pitches each, and then go home and have a lovely big meal. Adam, how are you doing? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm grand, thank you. I'm going to start with a really short one, and this is just a conceptual change to King and Queen of the Ring. Remember back in the day when you won the King of the Ring and you got a title shot down the line? It meant something, right? I'm going to reintroduce that, but with a little bit of tweaking. So the conceptual change is the King and Queen of the Ring winners are announced as receiving a royal decree. Now, this should have been done like a month ago when the tournament first started, but let's just say it's going to happen on SmackDown or something, I don't know, or the beginning of the pay-per-view, you get a royal decree. A royal decree means that both the King and Queen receive a World Championship match at the following pay-per-view, but they get the decree, their choice of stipulation. So, if Gunther were to win, he might choose an Iron Man match because he's good at persevering, and the longer you're in a match with Gunther, the less likely you are to win. Nia Jax wins, it could be a body slam challenge match. Randy,
That's quite good. I quite like that.
Randy Orton wins a finisher match, first to hit their finisher because he can hit the RKO out of nowhere. Tama Tonga might choose Bloodline Rules, for example. So it's just a little minor thing. Hopefully we do see the King and Queen of the Ring really mean something again. But a little bit of something extra wouldn't go amiss as far as I'm concerned.
It's 100% yes. The more stakes, the better, to make it feel more important.
Juicy. Steaks juicy. That's what it is.
Stakes juicy.
Steaks
Yes, it is.
juicy. That's the one. No, it's really good. I like the idea of, well, obviously that the king or queen would then, use that to their advantage in some capacity. I think that's really clever as well. I like the Nia Jax one. I don't know why that one.
The body slam challenge.
Yeah, jumped out at me.
If she's in there with a smaller opponent, that works so well, doesn't it? And she should lose that match if they went ahead. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, because it'll put
obviously.
someone over big time, won't it? Yeah, that's why I like it so much, I think.
I was struggling to think of a way to differentiate it between Money in the Bank, because you're giving somebody a future world title match, and originally it was going to be like, oh, they can choose when they do it, but I thought the stipulation was different enough to make it not feel like Money in the Bank.
That makes total sense. Harks back to the 90s as well. Up the 90s.
Up the 90s,
yeah. Your first one?
My first one is a big one.
That's the least surprising thing I've heard all week.
It's not very surprising, is it, everybody?
How many pages are we talking?
We're talking, for this one alone,
Piss off.
1 3/4.
Font size 4 on that as well.
It's big. It's bigger than it used to be. Right, I said we're going full cinematic mode with visuals for this one as well, right? So please do bear with, audio listener, and I'll try describing what's happening as best as possible. So we're going to the main event. So what I'm going to say is the main event, the WWE Undisputed Championship match. Cody Rhodes beats Logan Paul. He denies the media megastar of any viral moment by pinning the US champ directly on top of his Prime logo. 1, 2, 3. And he keeps that lovely belt around his waist. He stands atop of the rampway, title aloft above his head. The watermark appears and Cody walks to the back as the screen just fades to black. And just when we think everything is done and dusted, that's when our screens start flickering and doing the weird things. And then the message on the screen comes up just saying, do you want to meet us? And then boom, right? I don't know if people are like this or not. Boom! When the visuals do return, we see Cody standing in the desolate desert that serves as the timeline, of his history in the American Nightmare Becoming Cody Rhodes documentary. Joel, if you could please pull up the first picture So boom, he's here. Oh.
Do I need to put my glasses on, or is that?
No,
No,
that's
it's
out
blurry.
of focus. Yeah, it's out of focus. So boom, he's here, right? Where am I? Right. So he's confused.
desert.
He's in the desert. Confused and bewildered by what's happening, a black and white TV catches Cody's eye in the distance, displaying some heavily static and warped footage. Please, could you go to visual 2? There we go. So it's like, that's part of the documentary thing, right? I've not just badly made that. Well, I mean, a bit of it is. As he walks closer towards it, he can see that it's footage of himself and his NXT rookie, Husky Harris.
Oh.
Specifically, the moment Husky was voted off the show and Cody cut a scathing promo. From that promo, the audio of Cody saying to Husky, "Your time is coming," is continuously looped and stretched, and at some points, it even sounds as though it's saying, "Our time is coming." So as the camera shot changes from this point, we see the glare of the TV sort of illuminate Cody's face when we suddenly hear what sounds like meat being torn apart and picked at. It's enough to grab the... Whoa! You know, like the... Why are you laughing?
That classic sound effect.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the sound of meat being picked apart and eaten.
Being pulled and
Sorry.
picked apart. That's
What
what
kind
it
of meat?
is.
Are we talking mince here? We're talking steak or
I get to that in a second.
different noises, aren't they? Different kind of
So
meats.
he-
A sausage, what we're talking.
man. Right.
Crackling.
So it's like, oh man, it's like, wait, where am I now? As the camera shot changes,
You're in
we
the
see
desert,
we're in the
Andrew, I'll tell
desert.
you
We
what.
see the glare of the TV illuminate Cody's face, and we suddenly hear what sounds like meat being torn apart and picked up. It's enough anyway to grab the attention of Rhodes as he turns his head and moves away from the TV and towards the source of whatever this grotesque noise is. The camera then follows Cody as approaches the sound and eventually stops in front of this malformed mound that's just before him as the camera shifts its focus from the champion to a buzzard picking at the heap of these entrails and all this million stuff that has lying next to it the mask of Huskus the pig. Even more bemused by everything unfolding before him, the camera cuts once again to reveal a figure dressed in like a mourning veil standing behind him and pointing in a direction like that of Abby the Witch in the figure we've seen pop up during the QR codes. Visual 3, please, Joel. Thank you. So there's just someone there behind him pointing. Cody senses this, even though the figure utters no words, and turns to look at them before looking in the direction they're pointing towards, revealing a lone door that stands wide open in the middle of the desert sands. Visual 4, please, Joe. It's the final visual. There you go. So it looks like that. And these are all things, well, apart from the witch thing, these are all things that are part of the documentary as well, in little bits. But from our perspective, as the viewer, and therefore Cody's perspective, this door, not this one here, but the door in the thing, is actually, it's just wide open, and you can see straight through it as well. So it's just straight through. You can see the desert on the other side of it too. It literally just looks like an abandoned door in the middle of the desert. Imagine that. Cody makes his way to said door, but as he does, he feels something under his foot as well. He steps back and looks down to find something partially buried in the sand. The camera at this point is behind Rhodes' shoulder, and as he slowly brings his arm back up, we see him holding the fiend of the mask of the fiend. And with the camera still looming over his shoulder at this point, a figure comes into shot just behind Cody. It's slightly out of focus, but from what we can gather, they have dark hair that's presented in a bun with the same cross earrings that Bo Dallas adorns. And he just goes, and the figure behind Cody goes on to say, you saw it, didn't you? You gave him purpose. You made them understand. Little bits from the sort of teasers that have happened with the notes and things that we've seen in the QR codes. And now, as I mentioned earlier with this door and how we can see straight through it. Well, from over the oh man, I've gone too deep in this, haven't I? From the over the shoulder angle that we're currently at, the camera pans around so that we're now looking through the open door frame facing Cody and the figure behind him. However, from this angle, it's changed all sort of effects and all things, right? It's changed just to be a black void, and the figure standing behind Cody holds a lantern and wears a mask that's an amalgamation of Howdy's and the Fiend's. This elongated nightmare that we think we've seen teased over the last few weeks and in the QR code vignettes and stuff. The figure just continues, he was your partner. He trusted you, but he was ridiculed in front of the world for your failed attempt at fame. It destroyed him, but from those ashes, a butterfly was born. He is all of us. Do you see? he set us free. And the figure then just looks directly at the camera before uttering, so, do you want to meet us? And then he blows the lantern out, and then the segment ends. Boy, it just goes pitch black, done.
Who's your LSD dealer? How have you visualized all
I
this?
don't need one. I don't need one. And I'm thinking, like, I know it's all weird and cryptic and stuff, like this Uncle Howdy thing is. I'm not saying that Cody's his first opponent. I'm just maybe alluding to the fact that maybe Cody was the one that birthed this whole thing with him being Husky Harris being his partner, and Bray Wyatt tweeted the stuff out saying like, oh, he was his partner, this happened, I was born from the ashes of this, that, and that. I'm just saying that maybe Cody is like the birth of all this almost, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming for Cody. It's just like, we're here now.
I'm going to give it a no, but a yes.
A no, but a yes.
It's a no because you would think that after that, that's what the feud's going to be, Cody versus that.
Mm-hmm.
If this happens when the Cody versus whatever this is feud actually happens, that's where it comes a yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's a no because you think it's going to happen now, and that's way too soon. We saw it with The Fiend back in the day. They did everything way too soon, too quickly. So if they do that eventually when that time comes where Bo Dallas, whatever it's going to be, actually debuts, it's a big fat yes.
Okay.
Just
Thank
the timing,
you.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Just the timing.
I agree. I think it's a timing issue as well. I think you need to keep all of the cryptic, spooky stuff away from Cody as much as possible because I think it will harm him. If they were to do that, maybe after Cody's dropped the title, it's not even just a Cody problem; it's a WWE Championship problem, isn't it? I think it's like really well constructed. I really like the callbacks and everything like that. Visually, like what you've knocked up there is really nice as well. And I could picture it as you were describing it. The camera coming around through the door. It's all really, really nice stuff. I agree with Ross. I think the timing's wrong.
Yeah.
So I think you get to that down the line because Cody really has bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
And if you tease that, people are going to... I don't know if people will want it, but it feels like that's the way they're going. You don't immediately target Cody Rhodes, even in a minor way, if you're not going to do that
true.
straight
That's
away.
that's a good
but
point.
as you said, I can picture it really nicely. I think it's a really difficult thing to book.
It's
anyway.
hard, is it? Well,
It's
that's
so
the thing.
difficult. I've got no ideas on it, so I admire you for...
Because with everything
Give
that's
it a
everything that's sort of being teased, it sounds like whatever is going to happen is going to happen at King of the Ring. And I was like, I don't know if I want to see it in front of a crowd because I feel like the lack of crowd reaction, which I think it might get.
Oh, I don't know, because the Saudis go crazy, don't they? Pops and whatnot for the... Just people walking down the ramp, don't
And
they?
initially, we thought that they wouldn't. We thought going to be big casual fans, right? And they're going to cheer the big goodies and the stars. They're not. They're smarks, aren't they? They know what they're doing. I think they'll be into it.
Maybe I'm just thinking too much about when Kyrie came back. And there wasn't much of a reaction there. And I was like, oh, I felt bad for her. But yeah, no, maybe you're right. Maybe it is more of just like a less of a cinematic thing, more of just there in the ring, do something big and bad to really.
Tell you what, though, if Triple H is watching, just write down what Andrew said. And then just do, when the time comes to do Cody versus whatever Wyatt 6 thing we see, do that. Because it was, I don't know, as I say, the LSD dealer must be very strong to visualize that and put it down on paper.
Thank you, Joel, for being the picture man.
Cheers, picture man. Right, Gunther made it to the finals of the King of the Ring on this week's Raw, as we saw when he defeated Jey Uso. This is good in my opinion because it shows that WWE are taking things seriously when they could have had the prospect of Jey Uso calling himself King Yeet and having a Yeet crown and all the money that would have made them. They've turned that down in favour of Gunther doing it, so they're taking things seriously. Because of this, I now want Randy Orton to defeat Tama Tonga on SmackDown, setting up Gunther versus Orton in the finals on Saturday. I'm pitching that Orton takes a massive beating from Gunther for about 20 minutes before a short comeback and a shoot RKO means Orton achieves the only thing he's never achieved in the WWE, and that's winning the King of the Ring crown. Now, I'm pitching that the throne at the event itself is at the top of the ramp, so right where the superstars walk out at the top of the ramp. And it's for the entire evening before the King of the Ring finals, it's under a massive velveteen sheet. Just nice big velvet.
No.
What?
Oh, velveteen sheet. That's okay.
Just a big red picture of King's like cape, whatever it's called. Just drape one of them over the throne because it's got a big reveal when the time comes to crown the King and the Queen. So just, Way. It'll get hoisted up just before the. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Where's your pictures, Ross? I can't
Just
imagine
think
it.
about it yourself. It's fine. Right. So Orton's won the match. He slithers up the ramp like he does, and he's greeted by the Michael PSAs of the modern day, Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond's there for a quick interview, and it's time to crown Orton the King of the Ring after that quick interview. He'll still be known as Randy Orton, and he will not be known as King Orton, with a regal version of voices as his theme for the months and weeks to follow the show. I hate that. That's my other pitch that I've just spoiled there, but that's besides the point. We'll continue. As the massive velvet cover that's been on top of the throne is hoisted to reveal the throne, there is a human man already sat in the throne. What the hell, we're all saying to ourselves. How long's he been there? He must be bloody boiling. It's only Uncle Howdy, though, sat on the throne. What are you laughing at? The crowd goes wild. Howdy then's twiddling the microphone that he's got in his hand. He's doing all his stuff. He removes his mask, to reveal the human face of Bo Dallas, who gets the microphone and straight away goes, I am Taylor Wyatt. I'm going back to that thing from last pitch's video. That's what I'm known as, Taylor Wyatt, and we're here for him. He never forgets. Lights out. Oh, lights come back up. And a combination of Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Alexa Bliss have a knocked out Randy Orton, hoisted in the air in a crucifix position. They're sort of holding him like the ministry would do back in the day. Taylor Wyatt instructs this Wyatt 6, whatever they're going to be called, to take Orton away, and that's how the show goes off the air. Iranu, Uvavu. That's Taylor Wyatt and the Wyatt 6's first feud, Randy Orton, a fella who Bray did so much with over many, many years. Because I've got to this pitch just because on Friday SmackDown we saw a QR code with a web URL with the number 22423, which is the postal code for Saudi Arabia, apparently. Yeah. The entirety of Saudi Arabia, apparently. The one on Raw had the coordinations for Rowan University, so that was hinting at Eric Rowan coming back. So I just think the QR code there with some kind of postal code, it's going to happen on Saturday, and that's how I do it there. And that's the first feud I'd use. Randy Orton, a safe pair of hands, plenty of history there. And also things.
You can't mess Wyatt up in the same way that you can mess Cody up at this point. Orton's been through the ringer with some bad creative, and he's still Randy Orton. So I think Orton as a first feud is really nice.
Yeah.
Part of me worries maybe a little bit that does it take something away from the big crowning moment? You say Orton has never won this thing before, and we want King of the Ring to be taken a lot more seriously. And then in the big crowning moment where it all starts, you've injected the spooky stuff into it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
That's where you want to make a statement if you are the Wyatt Six. It's the biggest stage of them all. Not the grandest, the biggest stage of them all. The King of the Ring.
Just by default, you're saying this takes the show off the air. You've actually achieved that goal by making the King of the Ring a big deal because it's the main, isn't it? And Cody and Logan have come on earlier, which I think is good because it's such a predictable match, or at least the finishes.
The titular match, is it not?
And I don't think you're taking anything away necessarily from it because you haven't taken that at the expense of like a Gunther. You've done, like Adam said, you've done it with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton has been through some bad creative and still come out as Randy Orton. So I think that would work well in that aspect. And I think you're right. I think the first few probably should be someone like Randy Orton, who's had a lot of history with just the Wyatts in general, and also, yeah, you can just tie things back and everything.
It's a good test, isn't it? If you mess it up with Randy Orton,
it's
fine. No damage done to Orton.
I did feel horrible and dirty writing down a Gunther loss to Randy Orton in 2024, but I think in this instance, it's depends how they do it as well. As long as Gunther looks big and strong, that's all that matters. Anyway, is that 2 yeses, is it?
It's a yes from me.
My goodness. I should say, Polly's been back in contact, everybody. We will have the updated stats from the previous 12 months at the end of this video. Adam, pitch 2, please.
I'm sticking with Gunther here. So in the night's opener, we're going to go with Queen of the Ring first. Nia Jax defeats Lyra Valkyria to become Queen of the Ring after a hard-fought battle. You want Lyra looking good in defeat. She goes up to the top of the ramp, sits in her throne, which is covered in a beautiful velveteen sheet. Nobody's there. And the crown is placed on her head. She does the Queen's wave, that little thing, rest in peace, and is immediately joined joined by her new entourage of corgis. Nia embraces the Queen gimmick going forward. I think it's actually money with Nia. I think it could be really good in the, like, for the longest time, people have said, like, oh, she's a botch machine, right? She can't wrestle and all that
She's
stuff.
heavily improved.
Yeah, she has heavily improved. But there's still a contingent of the fan base who think that way, and her being queen of the ring, I think, is a great way to wind people up. So I like that. Later in the night, Gunther defeats Randy Orton following another hard-fought battle, makes his way to the top of the ramp. He looks at the throne, but instead of sitting down, he pushes it off the stage. He stands on the crowd and leaving it in a crumpled mess, grabs a microphone and says to him, this tournament was not about any prizes. It's not about a cape. It's not about a crown. It was about proving that he is the best professional wrestler in WWE. He said he's going to win it next year too, and the year after that, and the year after that, and he doesn't need any stupid gimmicks to prove that he is the greatest professional wrestler to ever lace up a pair of boots. He is der King General, but you'll never see him in a cape or crown. So I think there's a nice bit of contrast here. Nia, who gets a new character and will wind the fans up. Gunther remains the same, but with another feather in his cap. For me, Gunther's got to win this. I like the Randy Orton pitch as well, but it does mean that there's no harm in losing to Randy Orton, obviously. But I want Gunther to win. But again, yeah, I think you need to get rid of all of the monarch stuff when it comes to Gunther.
I'll give it a 50% yes, just because it directly contradicts one of my upcoming pitches.
Okay,
that's the only reason. Though I like the Gunther bit, the Nia Jax bit, not so much. I do enjoy the corgi integration.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you
dogs.
But I'm just going back in history. You think about everyone who's like taken on the royal gimmick and had like regal overtones put on their themes. It's never worked, has it? Name one that's worked.
Yeah, but with Nia Jax though, just really playing into it, I feel like that could work.
She's a great
very
troll.
well.
She's
Yeah.
very
She's
a good
self-aware,
troll,
isn't
yeah.
she? And I think it's a trolly gimmick. Like I thought we were going to see it. It would have worked for Tiffany Stratton. It probably would have worked for Chelsea Green as well. But I think Nia. I think there's good creative that you could do with that, and I think it would piss people off. So that's why I like it.
Chelsea Green would have been good, wouldn't it? Chelsea
Yeah.
Queen.
Hey.
It's a yes from me. I like it a lot. I've got a Gunter one as well. I think we've all got Gunter ones.
He's a good boy, isn't he?
He's a good boy. He is a good boy. I got a Gunter one, sort of in a similar vein. We'll get to it anyway, will we? But it's a yes. It's very good.
Thank you.
It's very, very good. Right then, I've got the Gunter one. Our big lad Gunter slices the nipples off Randy Orton with his lovely chops, to become the 2024 King of the Ring. Following his victory, out comes Ludwig Kaiser, who takes the prized crown from its pedestal at ringside and gets in the ring, kneeling before Gunther as he presents him with the prestigious bejeweled apparel. Gunther takes the crown from Kaiser's possession, holds it high above his head, and he just lobs it to the ground instead. My goodness, he obliterates the crown underfoot, all whilst laughing as it shatters into numerous shards and pieces. He grabs a microphone and he cuts a promo. He says, This is what you deem a worthy prize for commanding this sacred mat. A cheap crown, a stupid cape, and a meaningless throne. This tournament used to mean something. It used to command respect from your peers. It used to cement your place as one of the all-time greats. But over time, it became reduced to nothing but a joke. An excuse to play dress up, to pretend you're something you're not. Well, that ends now. As I did with the Intercontinental Championship, I will revive the prestige of what it means to be King of the Ring. I will continue to prove why this mat is mine and mine alone, and I will make sure that the annals of history and remember who was the greatest to ever hold this once again prestigious moniker. He said it already. The King General. But before he can finish, there is some music that hits. My goodness gracious me. Can you guess what it is? Bow, wow, wow.
Coronation.
Brock Lesnar is back, everybody. Oh, a former king himself. He gets in the ring and he squares up to Big Gunther. Ludwig, though, he gets in the way. He gets in the way of his pal. He's like, excuse me, you step away right now. But he eats an F5 as Gunther just rolls out the ring. And I've said Brock Lesnar comes back because it's a nice next stop for Gunther to go and have a big, meaningful feud with someone before then moving on to the World Heavyweight title picture when, I guess, maybe the dust has settled on the Damien /Drew/Punk stuff. So, yeah.
It's really nice, that. I really like it, and I like the fact that you've thought ahead to like, I don't want to say killing some time, but doing something with Gunther before he gets to the world title picture. I'll be really disappointed if we never get Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. So it's just an automatic yes from me. There's a lot of parallels between like what I just said as well, like the destruction of all the Regal stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if and when Brock does come back. But if you're going to do it, maybe a Saudi show where he's definitely just going to get cheered. I think he would anyway.
What's
honest.
his status with the old legal?
He's at home. He's Brock being Brock at home is what both Triple H have said and also what Gunther has said recently too.
Right.
It could feasibly stretch on for several years at this point. So if you have to wait several years, will he come back at all?
Doubt it.
So I think they might bring him back before the lawsuit's done. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Until nothing concrete's been sort of worked out of that thing, why not? Yeah, it's a yes from me as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right, Becky Lynch is defending the Women's World Championship against Liv Morgan on this very card. Becky appears for the match, but she is not wearing any form of her normal wrestling gear. The form of wrestling gear that ladies wear when they go to Saudi Arabia with all the limbs covered and whatnot. She's not wearing anything like that, nothing fancy like that. She's wearing just a t-shirt and sweatpants. The crowd look on in bewilderment because Becky is there. She's still got the Kavorka of the man, but she has the ring gear of a man. Just a waste man, fam. Sorry. Becky gets on the microphone in the ring and apologizes to the crowd for her appearance. It's not her fault, though. I went to catering a couple of hours ago like I do before all my singles matches. When I got back to my locker room, she says, my bag's been taken and I'll not be able to get it back since. Becky says she believes it to be Liv Morgan who's taken the bag because she's a little bitch. And the mention of the word bitch brings out Liv Morgan to the ring. Liv gets on the mic and turns into Shoggy by saying it wasn't me. And she invites Becky to the locker room for a couple of cans following their match if she doesn't believe her. Because that's the kind of poo house heel that Liv is turning into. Becky and Liv are having their match now, and obviously, because she's dressed to compete and hasn't been through the turmoil of having her gear taken, Liv has taken Becky to the woodshed, as Jim Ross would say back in the day, and then some. During a Becky comeback where it looks like the man might be able to get the job done, against all of the odds, the Judgment Day's music hits, and Dirty Dom Mysterio walks onto the stage. He's looking like the king of the castle, wah wah wee wah. Dom starts gesturing to the back, and he's just like he's summoning someone or something to come from the back, and out comes JD McDunt, Google him, who has Becky Lynch's actual ring gear and suitcase in his hands. We see this because he parades it and starts taking the P155 and all that kind of stuff. Then JD, at the behest of Dom, sets it all on fire.
Ooh.
He sets it on fire. That's what he does. Becky Lynch is obviously going mad in the ring because obviously Dom, the petty little twerp, has set her possessions on fire. And this distraction allows Liv Morgan to roll up Becky and win the Women's Championship. We then get one of those endless camera shots that follows a delightful Dom and a compliant JD back through the curtain. And we see Dom pick up the phone and he says, call Rhea Ripley. He just plugs it in and we say, hey, mammy, how you doing? He goes, it went well, mother. And then you hear Mother say, good boy, and he hangs up the phone. Liv then arrives backstage, still one camera shot this, and says to Dom, oh, thanks, Dom. I didn't know you were going to do that. You're a very nice man, aren't you, Dom? Where's Finn Balor, who I was seen arriving to Monday's Raw in the same car as, showing that I, Liv Morgan, am going after multiple members of the JD to tear them apart from within. Where's Finn? Dom shrugs his shoulders. He walks away. Liv is left smiling, obviously, and kind of smouldering, but as the Women's World Champion, most importantly. What could any of this mean? I don't know. We'll have to tune into Raw to find out. We think Dom is cheating on his mother with Liv, but actually, Dom and Mother are playing Liv, but Liv doesn't know this. And Liv is cheating on Dom with Finn, but Dom doesn't know this. But Finn does know this. What does any of this mean? We'll find out on Raw.
Oh my God.
So on Raw this week, one of the big details coming out the show, it's actually in the first opening minute, we see Liv Morgan arrive in a car. I think it's Lyra Valkyria walking in the arena. Then it cuts to another shot of someone else walking in. Then it cuts to a shot of Jey Uso walking in. And Finn Balor is seen exiting the same 4x4. And because the stuff's been going on, but under the microscope, so to speak, between Dom and Liv, it looks like Liv is also knocking boots with Finn at him. So she's playing them all to split them all up from within because, of course, she's on the revenge tour. But Mother is watching this, and I think that's interesting.
I like it.
Yeah, 'cause
I like it a lot.
If Mother's not watching and Liv's just doing this and she gets away, where's the fun in
Well,
that?
that's what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
It feels like they're sort of trying to play. It feels like Rhea's trying to play. No, sorry. It feels like Rhea is using Dom to play Liv to finally get the championship on Liv, so then when Rhea comes back, she can get the belt.
Yeah.
It does definitely feel like that, but I like the idea that Liv is maybe a few more steps ahead and that she is like in cahoots with Finn as well and everybody. Oh, I like it.
But at the end of the day, I do think it's time for Liv Morgan to be champion.
I agree as well.
Yeah, she's doing very good stuff for them.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like she should have already won it at that Battle Royale, personally. I think so. Because it's such a short period of time from like when Becky's won it to if Liv does pick it up now.
Yeah. I
It
guess
feels
it
a bit
makes it a
weird.
bit better if she beats Becky, like
Clean.
gets the pinfall on Becky, just
Yeah.
to say she has, because she's never beat her yet. As Becky's on
Yeah.
Raw
And then
before.
I guess she can be like, well, Rhea did it, I did it as well, sort of thing. Yeah.
I think you're a clever man. Because
First time that's been said.
it's something that I hadn't really considered. I was in the same boat as you. I thought it was going this way, but to subvert those expectations, and Liv has been smarter than the rest of them and manages to break the Judgment Day up as a part of it because she's one step ahead. I think that really works well with a sort of conniving, nasty character. So I love it. I think it's great.
That's
Yes.
very good.
Get in. Right. Third one, please, Adam.
Mine regards the WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. Logan is still worried about the power of the American Nightmare. So, on this Friday's episode of SmackDown, he reveals that it wasn't just a WWE title match contract that Cody signed. It was a WWE title Lumberjack match. And Logan gets to pick the Lumberjacks. Cody's annoyed with himself for not reading the contract properly. It was careless, and he feels like a proper fool. On the night of the pay-per-view, Logan makes his entrance and then introduces his Lumberjacks. Out come a whole host of YouTube superstars excited about their Saudi payday given the decline in YouTube ad rates over the years. Those walking down the ramp are a true cross-section of popular internet content creators, including iShowSpeed, KSI, John Fears, Mini Minter, Cyrax, Vicstar123, King Cobra JFS, Jake Paul, Quickville Guardian, Zerka, Sega Camp Gamer, Mr. Beast, all the big ones.
We should be there.
We're there as well. We're there as well, 100%.
I'd love to give it a Logan Paul for when he did YouTube in 2017. Ruined it for everybody.
Cody makes his entrance, but as he gets ready to do the whoa, he's attacked by the Lumberjacks. They're not even waiting for him to get in the ring, suffering a brutal beatdown. Every time Cody tries to fight back, he's just simply outnumbered by the supergroup of content creators. After 5 minutes of drubbing, they roll Cody into the ring. Logan hits the frog splash for the 1, 2. Oh my God, Cody's kicked out.
Thank God for that.
The rest of the match consists of Logan tossing Cody to the outside. He's just done with it. He doesn't need to even break a sweat here to let the Lumberjacks continue their assault. But every time Cody is thrown back into the ring, Logan hits him with a big move. He can only manage a 2 count. Cody is not going to lay down for Logan Paul, even with the drubbing. Logan, getting frustrated now, he gestures to his favourite Lumberjack, Daniel Larson, to pass him the brass knucks. Logan places them on his hand as Cody slowly gets to his feet. He's crying his eyes out, obviously. He knows what's coming, and he just can't defend himself anymore. He's too beat up, so he's stood there, he's shaking about. He done. Logan gets ready to strike when all of a sudden, LA Knight's music hits. Knight runs down the ramp, takes out every single Lumberjack. It's like Austin back in the Attitude Era. He just takes them all out one by one. Logan stares on in disbelief as all of his buddies are destroyed. He is paralyzed with rage. He can't move. Cody seizes his moment and nails Logan Paul with a crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody did it. After the match, with tears still streaming down his face, Cody is handed a mic and says how proud he is to have won the match and retain his championship. And although some fans may think he looks quite weak right now, it doesn't matter because LA Knight looks great and will beat Logan Paul for the US title at SummerSlam. He declares that Saudi pay-per-views aren't canon again and house shows are just a bit of fun, so chill out and he'll have a better match on SmackDown or whatever. Whoa! That's the end.
It's a big yes from me. There's lots of not only in Logan Paul, obviously LA Knight beating Logan Paul for the US title, which needs to happen. It just should have happened at WrestleMania maybe. But also YouTubers vlogging while beating up Cody Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great in the worst way possible.
Oh, well, I agree. That would
Oh my God, guys, look at me. I'm putting the boots to Cody Rhodes. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you can imagine it, just like when Logan did the frog splash thing and he filmed that. Do you remember? It's a yes from me.
It was a piss
yes
take.
from me.
Oh, thank you.
But we need to start on the road to get into LA Knight and Logan Paul, and every single time we think it's coming, it doesn't get there, does it? And this is the way to get it there. Get it there.
100%
Fast,
it is.
quick. Now.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Well, that's a sound idea,
I
I
like it, yeah. Saudi
Quite a
shows
limited
are
match
no
to
longer
book, really, isn't
canon.
it?
Yeah. I like it. Gunther is no longer the king of the ring. It's not canon anymore. Right. My final one is a simple one.
Doubt it.
It's a simple one. No, it isn't. No. It's just the back. It's just this is the back. It's all right. Sami Zayn retains the IC title in a triple threat match. Perhaps Otis does what Sami said he should do and listen to the crowd, declining to help Gable in the closing moments of the match and allowing Sami to pick up the victory. Anyway, it's an intense match. Sami's battered after it, but as he celebrates, the camera cuts to some happenings backstage. There's multiple wrestlers, crew, security. They're all laid out and strewn across the floor. We see a frantic Adam Pearce saying, "Where is he? Did you find him?" Insinuating that, of course, he has an idea of who this could be and what could have done this. Sami looks at what he's seeing on the Titantron in confusion when from behind, a chair collides with a champion's back. The perpetrator holding said weapon being none other than a raging Bron Breakker on an absolute warpath. He tosses Sami about, maybe even accosts Corey Graves or whoever's on commentary as he clears the announcer's table to hit a lovely spear on Sami straight through the apparatus. But he's not done, and just as he did on Raw this week, he grabs the steps and looks to do something similar to what he pulled that time in NXT against Come Tuesday. But thankfully, security and Adam Pearce managed to get to the scene in time to de-escalate the situation. Or they think so, at least, because he still raises the steps high above his head, looking to bring them crashing down on Sami. But this time, security gets physically involved. They stop him from doing so. And Bron sort of drops the steps. He starts backing off, as they do, like, all right, I'm going, I'm done, never mind, it's finished. But as he walks towards the rampway, he does the old fake out and runs around. He runs around the ring and hits a massive spear on Sami, who's being helped up at this point. And then the IC champ's spine just collides with the base of the steps. Bron smiles and stares at Pearce in the eyes as he picks up the IC title and says, "If you don't want to give me that," as he points to the King of the Ring crown, "then I want this. Make your decision quickly or there'll be no one left. This is on you, dear sir." He doesn't say that was ad-libs there at the end. That's it.
It's a big fat yes from me.
Thank you.
Bron Breakker on this week's Raw was absolutely
Oh,
tremendous.
it was so good.
Yeah.
It was the best squash match,
Yeah.
I think.
He killed a man.
He did kill a man.
The man called Kale actually died.
He did.
He's called Kale. He was called
Kale.
And he's dead. He's not dead, but Braun did do bad things to him.
Hmm.
Because it's been a nice little bubbling storyline, because I was not a fan of how Braun debuted on the main roster with his whispery promos.
I didn't.
Hey, I'm Braun. He should be shouting at people,
should
calling
be.
Pierce a fat, bald prick, like a Steiner would
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
And just the fact that Pierce was like, "Oh, I don't think you're ready for it," but he puts Lyra Valkyria in there and Ilya Dragunov. It's like, what? That makes no sense. So yeah, I reckon just go on a warpath and just absolutely make Adam Pearce's life a living hell.
It's going to be an interesting one with Sami Zayn, though, in the offing on that pitch. Because Sami, obviously a babyface. Braun can't not get good reactions because he hurts people. So it'd be interesting, the dynamic when that match eventually happens.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I guess in Saudi, the heat would be pretty, I mean, it's hot in Saudi anyway.
Yeah.
But I think because of, Sami and everything, I think that they would be like, "Oh, boo that man right there, that Bron Breakker." So maybe that'd carry over into tapings down the line. I don't know. Yeah.
It's a no from me.
Is it?
Yeah, sorry. I think it's a timing issue again, actually. So it takes away from Gable and Sami. That's what I want to see. It's so hot right now. Why would you want to insert Bron Breakker into things? I'd rather have him target the winner of King of the Ring or something like that.
Yeah.
I just think it's the wrong place to insert him at this point.
Yeah.
I like the way that it happens. I think it's really clever. But I want to see Chad Gable, who is just starting his heel run off, be the focus here. I want him to be the center of attention. I want him to have the Creed brothers as backup. I want all that to happen. And you put Bron in there, who's a brilliant, masterful heel. He's really, really great. And I think he's potentially going to overshadow Chad Gable when that's who we should be talking about.
That's fair enough.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah, very thoughtful.
Yeah.
To me, it just feels like, I don't want to say Chad's time trying to get the belt is done, because I don't think it is. I think you're right with the whole Creed Brothers stuff, but it just feels like if they're not going to do it, if they don't do it at Saudi, then I'm like, that's another time.
I think Chad's summer's going to be spent with Otis. That's what I think the big...
Do you reckon?
The reactions Otis has been getting the past couple of weeks where they've been teasing the split but haven't quite done it.
Yeah.
He's going to be the uber baby face that he was in 2020. And Chad will be the big dirty heel trying to take him down.
Naughty boy.
What, you think he's going to move on from Sammy?
I think Chad, it'll be him and Otis at SummerSlam, I reckon, for a mid-card crowd thing. Boo! Yay!
I want to see him get the IC. I want to see him get the IC.
No, yeah,
badly.
for sure.
And he doesn't need the Creeds to help him beat Otis either.
He's
Maybe that
getting
comes
them,
down the
though.
line.
Yeah, they
he is.
teased that on Raw this week as well.
Yeah. Which I'm
Sorry.
excited about. I think
Yeah.
that'll be really good.
Yeah.
Go on, give us your last.
I should have done this one first, but I've saved it for last. I'll read out as I wrote it down. For the love of Pete, don't make the winners of both tournaments become actual kings and queens in gimmick. It's horrible and it's cringe and it never works. For example, King Woods was rubbish. Queen Zelina and her weird Russell Brand accent wasn't too bad, but still pretty rubbish. King Corbin, absolute wank. King Barrett, only half work because he's got the voice, of course, of a Brexiteer, but nothing compared to Bad News Barrett as a gimmick. Why would you change that? King Sheamus, he looked the part with his wooden crown, but no. He didn't. He's literally a wooden crown. He looked great. Imagine, right, if we went back to 1996 and had King Austin. WCW would have won the war, and we probably wouldn't have the jobs we have today. That's how far I think these gimmicks just need to be put down into the bin. By all means, of course, at the end of the matches, have them sit on the throne, wear the crown on the night, have them do all that sort of malarkey. That's fine. Maybe give them something that's not a crown to sort of parade when they walk down the ring on next week's Raw and next week's SmackDown, the months ahead, where they can go, yes, I am the king of the ring. It's important, or the queen of the ring. It's an important thing that I've won. But don't make them a king and don't give them regal in their themes, because it's crap every time. I should have done that one first, but there we go. It's a no from Adam because Nia Jax.
You're too hung up on the themes. That's what you don't like.
No,
here.
it's everything. It's making them have royal. Oh, I'm King Corbin and I'm going to do this.
crap.
Yeah.
Totally crap, and it's largely been crap since like the mid '90s, if we're honest. But it depends on the character. We were saying earlier, like Chelsea Green would have worked. I truly believe that Nia Jax could work. I think on the men's side of things, it's a bit more tricky. I can't think of many that
King
would work.
Orton would be fantastic.
King Orton would be
yeah.
funny, wouldn't it? But I can't.
King O.
If they got fully on board with it. Oh, the comment section will let us know, but I can't think of many that, or any in fact.
Yeah, it's
that
rarely
would work.
worked, if ever.
Yeah.
Do you
But-
think it's like a pick and choose situation? Because as Adam said, Chelsea Green would be amazing. Maybe like you have people who it would almost benefit character wise, sort of just bring it back every now
If it
and
makes
then.
sense for the character,
Yeah, yeah.
But the more recent tournaments, it looks like they've been forced to become the king or queen, no matter who's won.
I didn't mind King Woods doing his thing because that was his dream, wasn't it? To win King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And so he should be celebrating that week in, week out. King Booker worked. I said
Oh,
mid-90s
yeah.
there. King Booker was great
There's
as
one.
well.
That was very good.
There's one in 20 years.
Owen Hart,
30 years.
fantastic. A bit before, okay. It's a 50%. I'll give you a 50% as well.
I like it. I like it. It's a yes.
Yes. Right, that's it for the pictures portion of the video. Now we have some stats. Do you want to put these on screen, Joel? Because there was tables. Tournaments. But you don't have to. It's going to be too much of a difficult thing to do.
He's got it.
nailed
Look at that. Oh
him
my
go.
God.
The
So
efficiency.
fast.
The efficiency.
It's not worth it.
It's not
no,
work, don't
it's
worry.
fine.
Right, Polly. I'll read the email, Joe. If you can get it working, you can get it working. Polly's here. I'm back with this year's updates. Have our pitches been more or less prophetic than last year? Let's find out. Overall, there's been no statistically significant movement. The average is still about 4% of the pitches come true. 4%, everybody.
4%.
But we're still way more accurate than the psychic Ross that asked about the Royal Rumble back in January. Right. Total pitches that have come true. Is this going to be on screen? Yeah. I'll read it out. You can put it in post if you want to, Jill. Right. I've had 232 pitches in history. I've had 9 come true for a 4% success rate. Adam, 66 pitches in history. 6 have come true. 9%. Sam Driver, 34 pitches. 5 have come right. A 15% success rate for him.
What?
I know, it's unbelievable.
Are his pitches just that person's going to win? I want that person to win. Is it just that fun?
I always remember Sam being quite contrarian with his pitches back in the day. Do you remember?
remember.
Yeah. We'll have to get him back on.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
though.
Jax
Well
had 5 from 251 for a 2%. Andrew, 2 from 153 for a 1%. Matthews had 1 from 39, Tom 1 from 30, and Fraser 0 from 7. In terms of convincing other people to vote yes for their pitches, Tom is in the lead with an average of 1.83 yeses per pitch. Ross and Jack are almost tied for most yeses, but Jack is still just ahead with 416 yeses to Ross's 415.25 yeses.
Damn.
So in history, Tom's had 30 pitches, videos I guess that is, and 55 yeses. Ross 232, 415.25. Andrew 153 videos, I guess this is. It videos? It must be. Or is it pitches? Yeah, pitches. 261 yeses. Adam 66, 110 yeses. Jack 251, 416 yeses. Sam 34 and 53 yeses. Fraser 7 and 10 yeses. And then Matthews had 39 and 55.5 there.
I think it is videos.
It must be videos.
It is
yeah.
video. We haven't done that many of these things, have we?
232 pitches.
I guess
videos.
with AEW as well. You're looking at
7
20
years, 6, 7 years.
Oh, we
20-ish
do them,
pay-per-views
and then
a year.
we do like the ones for just WWE and AEW as a whole, don't we? And
Oh,
then
yeah,
sometimes,
ones.
Yeah.
sometimes
Yes,
we
not
do
the videos and then yeses
Yeah.
in the videos. Yeah, so
Wow.
Tom's got a 1.83 average. I've got 1.79. Andrew 1.71. Adam 1.67. Jack 1.66. Sam 1.56. Fraser 1.43, and then Matthew 1.42.
Wow.
Damn.
Big.
That is big.
Ross is still just in lead on clean sweeps. All pitches must get maximum yeses. He and Jack are tied on 34 clean sweeps each, but Ross has had a significantly better success rate because he's done slightly less pitches overall. Pitch video appearances, Ross has got 77. So there we go, 77 videos.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that's, yeah. And I've had 34 clean sweeps for a 44%. Jack's had 84 videos and 34 clean sweeps. Andrew, 51 videos, 19 clean sweeps. Ooh, we're hard on you, aren't we? 37%. Sam, 11 videos, 6 clean sweeps for 53%. Adam, 22 videos and 5 clean sweeps for a 23% hit
that
rate.
it?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're rubbish.
Yeah.
Tom's had 10 videos and 4 clean sweeps for a 40%. Matthew, 13 videos and 2 clean sweeps for a 15%. And Fraser, 2 videos, 0 clean sweeps.
Oh, man.
We've had 3 more videos without any no votes at all this year, bringing us up to 9 in total, apparently. And then we have some questions people have asked in last year's statistics that we never got round to answering. Why are Tom and Fraser not in the league tables when we have been using them on Pitches videos? Last year, Polly only showed people who had had predictions come true, so Tom and Fraser didn't make it. But when she did the recount this year, she realised she missed one of Tom's correct predictions from 2020, so he should have been on, and that's been fixed now. Andrew wanted to know what one pitch of his came true. Have you had any more thoughts about this?
Not a clue.
Liv Morgan to win Money in the Bank back in 2022.
Hey.
Hey! In his Crown Jewel 2023 pitches, Jack said he thought he pitched Carmelo Hayes comes out and has a banger before, but as far as I can tell, he hasn't. He did pitch Hayes to do an open challenge as NXT champion at Money in the Bank 2023 and beat Edge clean. Maybe he's thinking about that. Who knows? He's on holiday at the moment. And apparently I wanted to know if I've ever got all no's before. This has never happened. The closest has been as Jack, who got 5 no's out of a possible 6 for his Extreme Rules 2018 pitches. That would be me and you, that wouldn't it? Back in 2018?
Yeah, I think it would have been.
Yeah, there was also one pitch where he managed to get an unlikely 3 no's because Ross voted no for his own pitch once he made it all out 2022. And then we also have the little fun stuff section from the Pitches History Annals. Jack pitching Paul Heyman on a forklift match as a consequence of Payback 2023's Bloodline shenanigans. Ross on a motorbike kick, pitching Adam Copeland to debut as a mystery biker, dragging
Yeah, that was so good.
a hogtied Sting to the ring at AEW All Out 2023, and then pitching Shayna Wayne as the mystery biker that takes out Nick Wayne at Wrestle Dream 2023. He was disturbingly close with Mother Wayne and Christian neck on like Lita and Edge. They might have done that backstage, we don't know. No callbacks to George Miz becoming Chips this year, which is a bit of a shame. This year also saw the shortest pitch ever, which was the shortest successful pitch ever as well. Ross's 2-word masterpiece of Wardlow retains AEW Double or Nothing 2023. Because that's when Wardlow was going through that phase of winning a title and then losing it on his first defense.
Yeah.
So I was like, just let the guy win, which aged tremendously as we're sat here now in 2024.
Yeah.
And then finally, somebody, maybe Ross, asking a question about whether something had ever happened on a Pitches video before, and then saying Big P will know, meaning her, Big Polly. He couldn't remember whether my name was Polly or not, so went with Big P. I'll take it. Well, there you go, Big P. Up the Big P.
Thank you. Big
Thank
P.
you
That's
so
amazing
much.
work,
I
isn't
know,
it?
it's very,
That's
very
incredible.
We also have some massive quotes from the Pitches video gone by, such as is Tom saying, toot toot, young man, toot toot, as LA Knight is rescued by a tugboat driven by tugboat. Stuff like that. We'll put them on screen, won't we, Jill? Don't waste more time going through them all. But thank you very much, Polly, for all that hard work, the deep dives each and every year just after WrestleMania season is out the way. But there we go. What's coming up, gentlemen?
Oh, guys, a busy
And when
week,
is it
isn't
happening?
We have got these pictures have just gone live now. Obviously, you're watching them tomorrow, as in Wednesday. We have got WWE predictions and AEW pitches. Thursday, we've got AEW predictions. Friday, podcast. And then over the weekend, we've got streams. We've got what happened out. We've got WTF and WWE. And I think that's everything.
Yeah. Where can you watch the streams?
You can watch it at youtube.com/cultaholic/live at the time of insert time, because I don't know what time
and
it is.
it'll only direct you to the one that's closest. So if you go there at the moment, just click the live tab on our channel page, because there's going to be 2 scheduled.
There you go. That's all the stuff that's coming up. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely wrestling weekend, everybody. But do not forget, life's a pitch, and then you die.